Since I made my last video on interest rates, what my view was, my friends, my contacts have been giving me an earful that I'm wrong. They keep reminding me of the fact that, there are so many factors at play which will make sure that interest rates are coming down in Australia, just immediately, just now, next 2 months, 3 months, 4 months before Christmas. They keep reminding me of that. And I thought, okay, let's do a video again on this. Why I think, where my views are. Again, remember, I'm not an economist. I'm just forming my opinions, sharing my views. And I'll just give you some facts and you can decide for yourself after that. Some people were like, inflation has come down recently, read the data. Yes, but if you read the whole article over there in all these papers, it's the fact that inflation has come down primarily because of the subsidies we have had, energy subsidies from the federal government, the state governments in certain states, which has brought down inflation. So it's a temporary measure. The articles are clear, this measure is temporary. It will, they're concerned it will bounce back. So they're keeping a tight eye on it. So for the next 3 months, 4 months, I don't see, them acting on it. So that's one thing. And we need to remember Bullock has been very clear. She's not going to make the same mistake her predecessor did where he, said interest rates are not going up. She has seen the downfall. So if she's saying she's concerned and the minute say they might be considering raising interest rates, they keep looking at it every time. If she's saying it, I tend to believe her. Hauser has said it many times as well. So that's, for me, the first point. Second point people remind me is the fact that, the US interest rates are coming down. New Zealand has been aggressively cutting it down. Canada did it a few months back, which, and I still remind people, have a look. Like yesterday, I sat down with someone, showed them the interest rate in New Zealand after the aggressive rate cut, as they said. New Zealand, again, is in a different cycle. We need to remind ourselves. But even after the rate cuts, their interest rates are higher than what we have in Australia. Same with the US. We are much lower than them. And the fact remains that, we are in a situation where even after they cut down rates, we will still be lower than them. So there is no urgency, I personally feel, on the part of RBA to act very quickly. Yes, our economy struggle. I think the signs are there. The struggle is starting to come up. But RBA is going to be careful. That's very, very clear over there. The third point which people remind me is that big banks are, starting to cut interest rates on home loans. And you need to remember they are usually fixed rate loans, longer tenure. So they do expect rates to come down. Their heads have been very clear about it. So that's happening. I think everyone is of the view that's going to happen anytime pretty soon. When is the call? It's not a question of if anymore. So let's keep an eye on that. But just be clear, they're also cutting down rates on deposits. So on the flip side, they need to cut down the cost of capital. And that's is a good way for them to do it. Variable remains a big chunk of the market. They're charging you the higher rates. Fixed, new ones come in, take some benefit. You need to remember it's going to be a very small component. But all their new deposit rates, they're going to cut down pretty quickly on that one. But the rate cuts are not going to be very drastic this time. We're not going to see the, the 0.1% reference rate as we had before. We had 4.35. I think one of the banks, big four banks view is that it will be in the, the threes somewhere, which will maybe is 1%, 1.25% rate cut, but that's about it. It will give us a lot of leeway, don't get me wrong there, but it's not going to be as drastic as it was before. So let's hope for the best. I would be happy if I'm wrong in my analysis over there.